Good morning, everybody. Today is August the 10th. Yes. And, well, as you can see, we got some rain. Probably the most significant rain we've had in 2 months, at least. Taking the 4650 to town. Cable for my remote PTO broke, and it lasted one bag this year, so I gotta re-engineer the setup. I think once I get to my brother's welding shop, I'll kind of lay out what my rough idea is here for how I'm gonna rig things up, and it's probably gonna be my original idea of mounting it down there, coming across the top with some sort of call it a drive line or drive shaft to kind of lever and cam system. I'm not doing a good job of driving this thing and talking, and do a rigid mount to the PTO. Well, she took all day, but it works. I thought I had more loom in the truck than I did. I shouldn't say that. I thought, technically that's right. I thought I had wire loom in the truck. I don't. But you'll see, I made it a bit adjustable. But I forgot to make this side adjustable, and that cost me probably an hour of rejigging some stuff. But it works, and I think it definitely works better. I have these two tabs and the micro switches. Interestingly enough, that's just barely touching there, but that's the end of the stroke. And so I think I'm on, yes. Did that touch, or is that the end of the stroke? Okay, so I do need, they have internal limit switches, so you can't run them too far, but to get the right, I'm sure it wouldn't take me a whole lot more figuring, but I was kind of half-assing it. Here's what caused me concern or grief last time, is that when the engine was running, it wouldn't kick out because it was on the cable, and the cable would push up, and sometimes it would spring forward, but sometimes it would curl under, and it would eventually kink and snap. And so we would have a bungee, this one here, wrapped around here to the clutch a few times just to give it the assist. But even then, it would still end up breaking after a while. So here's my old setup with a throttle cable, and you can see how it always gets bent over and twisted, and then it just shears. So we're getting combines all switched over and serviced and just be ready to go for cereals. We've got 4 or 5 days here, but it does look like it might rain over the weekend. So yeah, we're gonna dabble. We're gonna go through, make sure the headers are tuned up nice. So I pulled the knife out. I'm gonna change, I'll show that in a second. Typically, more often than not, we're doing our peas first, and so we try not to put a lot of money into the cutting head until after we've done peas, because you're always at risk of whacking a rock and causing a lot of damage and probably breaking something you've just replaced. My center canvas seems to keep on sticking, so we're going to tweak the tension a little bit. I probably need to readjust my fingers, which is a 30-second job, because I tweaked it trying to get the crop to go a little bit deeper. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't say the biggest thing. It shouldn't take too long. It's just more awkward and definitely a two-man job. Is that the P-auger? I don't know if I can turn it over. Of course, everything's on the back. When I reassembled it after the upgrade, I must not have been paying attention, and I put the auger on so that you can grease the slide tube, but you can't grease the U-joint. So I've got to change that. Change the concaves. We've got a bunch of new concaves over there. And what was the other thing? Oh, I want to blow out the air filters. Fuel it up. Just make sure they're field ready. So, yeah. First things first. That's definitely too big of a gap. There's I'm gonna count it out, but I would guess there's at least 20 guards that I should replace. They just do a better job cutting. And same as the knife. I'm gonna redo pretty much the whole thing. There's a handful of new ones that we've put on because they've broken or whatever. But you can see some of them are getting a bit small at the point. See if I can find a new one. I know I put at least one. That one's got a broken point on. That one's straight up broken. Where are you? You know, that one's cracked. That one's chipped. That one's chipped. Chipped. But you can look at the width difference, and you can tell the wear on that. So I'm gonna rip all this off, put it back together with new stuff. Well, we got her all done. I shouldn't say done, back together. And I went out and I was looking, and you stick a new knife in these, and a lot of them, I got a new knife somewhere here. This guy's brand new, just been sitting in the toolbox. And if you get them in, they're pretty sloppy. Versus a new guard, which is this one. There's very minimal. And you can pretty much put them anywhere. And in fact, some of them you can kind of see they've started to wear. That one's got quite the gap. I think, ooh, that one's really bad. So I just bit the bullet and I bought all new ones, including the ends. So that one's gonna suck to change. But we'll get everything done. They're not difficult, they're just not the most fun because of these skid plates here. Knife done. Guards done. There's one here and one at that end that were replaced recently. You could tell the gap was still good. It still had a fairly sharp edges to them. So we got all that done. There are some that might just need a little bit of fine tuning that are riding a little higher, lower. We'll see how the knife goes in, and we'll know for sure. Now we're gonna grab some concaves. They're gonna be wet. Ugh, didn't think of that. It was foggy overnight. So these are my mad concaves. They got finger grates for canola and barley, I guess. And then we got, what, 225s and 275s, I think? Or, sorry, 225s and 375s. The plan is for right now is I'm expecting to go to Durham. So we're going to do 225, 375. The wide wire is going to go there, and the slot is going to go at the back.